French developer Dontnod is known for giving players the ability to choose how stories progress in many of their games. Their latest release, Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, takes more of a visual novel direction that focuses on this aspect even more, with a complex web of options to navigate through. It's an interesting approach, but despite a number of different paths and endings, it can still feel quite restrictive in the end. The story is both personal and supernatural, introducing a unique pantheon of characters. You play as Polly, a woman who returns home after her mother has mysteriously disappeared. Upon finding a strange necklace among her mother's belongings, she's transported to Reverie, a parallel world inhabited by physical embodiments of human aspirations, including bliss, power, and truth. While not gods as such, they guide humanity's choices, and the health of one world affects the other. With Reverie itself in trouble, Polly is left trying to process these revelations and her newfound powers, while trying to find out what happened to her mother and how it connects to this alternate world.
What's going on?
Don't ask me. You're the one who brought us here. Traveling between worlds like it's nothing is, well, shows what amazing powers you have.
With a number of questions to answer and characters to meet, Harmony's first half is at its strongest. The aspirations, like Bond, shine with distinct personalities, but there's also a strong sense of intimacy as you reconnect with Polly's family members, like Nora and Laszlo. The writing and voice acting reflect a raw sense of emotion as characters hesitate, try to connect, or try to voice their concerns. Introspective depictions of grief go beyond mere sadness to illustrate the emptiness left behind and struggles just to get through mundane parts of each day.
Up there. Keep a low profile. Everything's going to be all right.
While we don't want to say much, the later chapters don't fare as well. There are some long-winded explanations that no longer feel necessary, and events play out on a broader stage that's largely distant from Polly and her loved ones. Some of these factors vary depending on the paths you take, but the ending we first wound up with also feels unsatisfying and unearned. Of course, the mechanics behind how you make these choices are the core of Harmony's gameplay, for better and for worse. Many similar games have an underlying flowchart that connects all the different paths players can take. The difference is that since Polly can see into the future, Harmony shows you that flowchart up front in a web of nodes known as the augural. Each node on the path is a different scene, and from the moment a chapter starts, you can see how most of that chapter's scenes interconnect. At first, details are hidden, but after you make a few decisions, you unveil what pivotal choices lie at the end of the chapter, allowing you to think several steps ahead. Conceptually, the structure is intriguing and appears to give you room to plot your own story, but in practice, it's not uncommon to feel locked into certain paths or choices in various ways. Some things, such as choosing one character's plan over another, naturally exclude the alternative, but there are a number of times when connections feel blocked off unexpectedly. At the core of this issue are crystals that align with each of the aspirations, such as power, bond, and chaos. Certain decisions you make reward you with these crystals, aligning you with that aspiration, while other decisions take crystals away. Key choices near the end of each chapter usually require a specific number of crystals to unlock, and this need to make decisions that give you the correct currencies often restricts you to a set path that may not fully line up with what you want to do, or what feels best for addressing a certain situation. You're just doing it for the crystals. It's easy to look ahead at a choice and feel like you're on the right road to get there, only to later realize you somehow miscalculated and blocked yourself from getting all the crystals needed to make that choice. Often, by the time you get to a major decision, there's no decision to make because you only have the right crystals to pick one of the options. If crystals were given out a bit more generously, it may feel like you have more freedom to explore, but the numbers are so exacting that it typically feels like there's only one path to take to get to a desired outcome. This extends to the endings as well, since when you get to the final chapter, you really only have access to the path that aligns closest to the majority of decisions you've already made.
Right now, upheaval or no, he's all we've got.
Overall, the structure favors making decisions with your head rather than your heart, weakening how you approach conversations or try to earn a character's trust. Whether you're plotting several moves ahead or stuck due to past decisions, it restrains you from inhabiting a space where you're listening to characters and willing to let them change your mind.
That damn corporation only cares about its own interests. And if you can't beat them, join them.
The audio-visual presentation stands out from other Don't Nod games with a more vibrant hand-drawn look, including fully animated cutscenes at key points in the story. Each character resonates strongly in their own way, and while dialogue isn't fully animated, there's enough body language for characters to express themselves and feel relatable. Backgrounds are brimming with detail, including Polly's home in the community center, Laszlo's bar under the train tracks, and distinct locations for each of the otherworldly aspirations. There are times when the visual novel style does run into disconnects though, such as when your party is headed through passages deep under a skyscraper while you stare at a sunny city exterior, or several times when the text describes characters hugging while their portraits stand on opposite sides of the screen. The music by Lena Raine is another bright spot, creating a pervasive atmosphere to absorb each emotional moment at your own pace, then progressing in dynamic stages as a conversation moves forward. Harmony: The Fall of Reverie is a difficult case where strong individual aspects don't fully come together as a strong whole. There are precious characters here that are worth getting to know, but it feels like they get lost in the macro events of later chapters. And while there are numerous variations and endings to replay this 10-hour story, the systems governing which choices you make feel more limiting than liberating. Final score, 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching our review. We're Easy Allies. We've been writing about games for decades, and we also do podcasts, streams, shows, and more, all funded by regular viewers just like you. Head to patreon.com/easyallies to pitch in and get rewards. And be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay connected on YouTube. See you soon.